of the world, now I'm living. And the good just gets better, keeps on giving. Not even close to the end, it's just beginning. Life is getting lighter while the days are getting brighter, yeah.
Hey, it's Ann Perry. Welcome back. This is the 7th in a series of 9 videos I've created for you on the master numbers in love. Master number 11 in love with the life path number 7. So if you're just a little bit curious about what the 7 is going to be like with the master number 11, you need to stick by and hang in there, because I'm going to be showing you all kinds of tips, questions to ask yourself, things to look for, red flags, good flags, all kinds of flags. So stick with me. Here we go. So first of all, we have to explore, what does the master number 11 need? Now, I know I've covered this in all the other videos, but I can't be sure that you've watched all the other videos. So in short, the master number 11 needs to be able to control their environment. They really need to be able to feel comfortable where they are, because they're hypersensitive to everything. They're sensitive to smell, to sight, to sound, to energies. They're sensitive to pretty much everything. So they need to have a little bit more control over their environment. They like to be in peaceful and harmonious atmospheres. So if you're somebody who likes to play rock and roll turned up really loud all day long, probably not going to be a good fit for someone who's an 11. They need a lot of support so that they can feel confident that you're going to support them as they explore their creative potential. Because remember, the 11 has 2 1s, and the 2 1s are here to gain confidence and master their creative potential. So they need some support in that department. They're very loyal partners, so they're going to value somebody else who's also very, very loyal. And they need someone who's sensitive to the arts, because that's always going to be something that's of interest to someone who's an 11. They're also going to be looking for someone who's not too domineering, somebody who's a little bit, who's strong, who's confident, but isn't totally a wimp, but somebody who's going to be less dominant and a little bit more of a gentle leader. Leading by gentle persuasion rather than brute force. So what does the life path number 7 need? Time alone. God knows, I'm a 7. I need time by myself. We do. We enjoy our space. We've been often called the lone wolves, because we really like to kind of hang out by ourselves. Not that we don't like to be with other people. We like that too, but all things in moderation. So we need a connection to the outdoors, especially the water. It's really important for us to get our feet in the water, get our feet in the sand, have our bare feet out there on the ground. It's just very, very important to somebody who's a 7. A respect for the fact that 7s, we can be worriers. We can have a little bit of lack of faith in the universe to unfold the way that we feel that it should. Respect for the fact that 7s will often overthink things and drive everybody else around them crazy. That can't happen. That's not true. Yeah, it is. Understanding that making decisions can be really hard for people with a life path number 7. And that all comes down from the fact that life path number 7 has to learn trust. Respect for the spiritual connection that they have to nurture. They really need to learn about their spiritual sides. They're going to be interested in metaphysical studies and anything that goes bump in the night. There are going to be all kinds of courses and things that they're going to want to take. They have a need to work alone. They work much better by themselves than they do in the group dynamic. And they're often very stimulating and very intellectual, and they like their partners to be the same. So what do each of you bring to the relationship? Well, the master number 11, we know, brings compassion, brings sensitivity to everything, to other people and to themselves and to their environment. They bring an interest in spirituality and creativity. They're very understanding people. They're extremely good listeners, really good counselors. They can see both sides to the story. That being said, that they're an 11, which is actually a 2. The 2 is all about balance and being able to see everybody's side and being peacekeepers and mediators. They're very, very loyal, and they value the same. They're very inspiring people. They often get intuitive hits that they can share with people that brings in a level of inspiration. And they're very passionate, and they're very romantic. So if you're not a romance lover, then you might not want to hook up with an 11, because 11s need romance. And a real need for partnership, because the 11 comes back down to a 2, right? So the 2 says, I need somebody in my life, right? Now, if you can hear my dog moaning in the background, she's heard this before. Anyway, I'm not going to edit that out because she's part of this too. Life path number 7. What does the life path number 7 bring to a relationship? All things that are good, of course, because I'm a 7. Uh, no, some might do. Some may challenge that, but anyway, it's okay. The sevens, they all have a need to explore their spiritual sides. Sevens will not be necessarily religious people. They're more spiritual people. They sometimes just can't connect the dots to traditional religion. Not that they don't respect it, but it just might not speak to them like being outside in nature does, or talking with their angels or spirit guides, that kind of thing. They're very into anything that's mystical, the healing arts, esoteric arts, anything regarding tarot or angel cards, metaphysical. That's all good for them. They're very analytical thinkers. We do overthink everything, right? We're very busy in our heads, so quite often we don't sleep well. Kind of like the 11s, they don't sleep well either. So maybe we can get up and have a cup of tea in the middle of the night, because we got lots to talk about in the middle of the night. We're always awake. Sevens are very compassionate people. They have an interest in understanding people and situations in general. Like, they just like to see things from all perspectives. Very peaceful energy overall. They've got a lot of perspective on things, so they can help people see things from different perspectives. And I think overall, the 11 and the 2, it's kind of an odd combination, because the 2, of course, is an even number, and the 7 is an odd number, but the master number 11 and the 7 will often get along reasonably well because they have common interests, okay? They have common interest in spirituality and the growth in that area. They have common interests in the psychic phenomena. The 11s sometimes turn that off, because when they're children, it's kind of like, it's, stop talking to your invisible friends kind of thing. Whereas the 7 would be like, wow, that's cool. Tell me more about that. So they're open to the things that the master number 11 sometimes struggles with. So it encourages the 11 to open up and be confident that they can share things with the 7 and not have them go, wow, that's a little strange, right? So we're kind of open to whatever. All right. Negative aspects to the 11 and also the life path number 7. Remember, we all have a negative side and a positive side to whatever our life path number is. So those of you who are master number 11s, you can be very hypersensitive. You can be people pleasers because you need partnerships. Remember, you need to be one of 2 people. You can get very frustrated with your position in life because you always feel like you're supposed to be doing something much bigger, something much better. You have a real need for partnership. That's one area that can get you into a little bit of trouble with the life path number 7, because the life path 7 needs a lot of time by themselves. Not that they don't need partnerships, but they need to be left alone. They need to have their own man cave or woman cave, okay? The master 11s often will set unrealistic standards for themselves, and when they do that and they don't meet the mark and they don't reach the bar, they tend to crash and burn, and they feel like they're a failure on some level. So they suffer an awful lot of bouts of depression because of self-perceived failure. Now, the 7s, on the other hand, can be very reclusive. Like I said, they need time by themselves. They can live on an island all by themselves quite successfully. They tend to overthink things, which can kind of drive the 11s a little bit crazy, because the 11s, they're very insightful. They're visionaries. They see things. The 7 is going to be like, well, okay, but did you consider this? And did you think of that? And, what about this? And what about that? And it gets crazy. At the end of the day, the 7 has trust issues. Now, the trust issues can come in the way of not trusting themselves to make healthy decisions, because maybe they've made a few decisions that didn't work out so well. It can also be that they don't trust other people. That can be a consideration. And it also has a lot to do with trusting the universe to unfold in a way that will be healthy for them. Okay, 7s have a need to have everything spelled out for them. We really do. It's kind of like, if we're going to take a chance, and we're going to do something, we want it written up in the sky that says, Ann Perry, this is what you're supposed to do. ... And then they give you the list, right? So far, in 58 years, I haven't seen that, but I have grown and I have learned that we need to just trust in the process of the universe, and everything typically rolls out exactly the way it's supposed to if we just stop standing in front of the way of the process. We do resist taking risks because we have to have a guarantee that everything's going to work out okay. We can be a little bit aloof, a little superficial, if we lack spiritual understanding of ourselves. Difficulty allowing ourselves to be vulnerable sometimes. That's definitely a consideration for the 7s. And sometimes the 11s, on the other hand, it's a little bit easier for them to be vulnerable, especially if they're in really good, solid one-on-one kind of relationships. And overall, the 7s tend to be a little over-analytical. Are the 11 and the 7 compatible? Well, it's not for me to say that based on the 11 energy or the 7 energy, whether you're compatible or not, because remember, there are other core numbers at play here. Your heart's desire number, your expression number, your birthday number are all huge contributors to whether you guys get along or not, and whether you have a future together. But, just looking at the 11 and looking at the 7, we can get an awful lot of good information. That's solid information that comes from the birth date, which of course never changes, right? So before you get yourself involved with a 7, you need to ask yourself this. The 11 needs to ask, can I accept that a life path number 7 will need plenty of time alone and may even need to sleep alone at times? How am I going to feel when the 7 life path partner suggests that they don't trust me? Do I have the skills necessary to extract out of their heads what they're thinking? Because they can be very deep in thought and have a really hard time getting to their hearts from their heads. Will I need more social interaction than the 7 needs? Can I be patient while waiting for them to make a decision? Do I have the skills necessary to coach them if they sabotage their efforts by overthinking it? All good things to think about. Okay, that's it. That is the master number 11 with the life path number 7. So I would love for you to stay in touch with me, and if you have any questions whatsoever, you're welcome to post it down here. I'm always watching my YouTube channel and making sure I'm trying to answer all the questions for you. My website is AnnPerryNumerologist.com. I do have a really good blog there. There's all kinds of additional information. There's a newsletter you can sign up for if you like. I'm on Facebook all the time posting new stuff for you guys that are numerology keeners and want to learn more. And of course, I would love it if you would subscribe to my channel and share it. Share it with anybody who might be, be able to take advantage of it and have some benefit from it. I'd love that. I really appreciate it. Thanks so much for taking time to hang out with me today. I know you could have been doing tons of other things, but you chose to hang out with me, and I think that's awesome. So I'm hoping that you're having a great day and that you'll check in with me on the next video. Take care. Bye for now.